When you load up a modern web application, you're greeted by a sleek interface filled with dynamic colors, smooth animations, and shifting interactive charts. But if we suddenly peel away those shiny design elements, the colors, the styling, the layout rules, you would see something very different. The entire page shrinks down into basic, plain black text. What remains is the rigid physical skeleton of the website. It is the underlying structure that holds every other piece of the design in place. This structural baseline is built entirely with HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Notice that word markup. HTML doesn't run complex logic algorithms, and it doesn't do math. It simply wraps around your text to label what each part of your document is supposed to be. Before you can write a single line of code for a complex web application, you have to know how to construct this invisible skeleton. It is the mandatory starting point for building anything on the web. Let's clear the screen and lay a brand new digital foundation from scratch. Looking at this blank document, the very first thing we do is place a bold declaration right at the top. We type doctype HTML. This sends an immediate, mandatory signal to the computer that we are constructing a web page. Next, we establish a master container. This is the HTML root tag. Every single piece of our project is going to be safely encased inside this one main box. Inside that master container, we start with the head tag. Think of this as the web page's brain. It stores background information for the computer that stays completely invisible to the person visiting the site. For instance, we put the title tag in here. You won't see it on the page itself, but it dictates exactly what text you read floating up in your browser tab. Directly below the brain, we place the body tag. This is the primary container for the user. Everything visible, every word, image, and link you actually see on the screen must exist inside this specific box. By cleanly separating our background instructions from our visual content, we ensure the browser always knows exactly what to hide and exactly what to show. Let's zoom directly into that body container and start playing some actual content on these bones. We use specific structural tags to format our text. This is the heading tag. We use it to establish primary, large-scale titles so the layout has a clear hierarchy. Right below it, we use a paragraph tag. This wraps around standard, readable blocks of body text. To connect different pages together, we wrap text in an anchor tag. This is the mechanism that creates clickable links. Eventually, you will want to add visual media using an image tag, but notice how it drops into our document as a completely empty square wireframe. That happens because certain tags can't work on their own. They require critical secondary instructions to function properly. We call these extra instructions attributes. If we give this empty box a source attribute and type in the exact file path, the tag finally knows what to do and instantly loads our graphic. By combining these simple, distinct text containers inside the body, you have all the tools necessary to build any content layout imaginable. So we have a document filled with text containers and attributes. How does that actually become a web page? Look at this split screen. A web browser is essentially an automatic, literal translator. It reads your raw HTML blocks, processes the tags, and emerges on the right as a cleanly formatted page. The browser is what takes your bare-bones structure and dresses it with the skin and clothes of basic visual formatting. Now it's your turn. Open a simple text editor on your computer. Type out your document declaration, build your head and body containers, drop in a heading tag, and load that file into your own browser. You'll see your code come to life. Mastering this invisible code is the absolute, unavoidable prerequisite for anyone who wants to build the modern web.